Welcome back to Global Yearbook, where history moves fast, facts travel light, and the past feels surprisingly modern. Today we're heading to Mexico in the swinging 1960s. A decade of stadium cheers, student voices, bold diplomacy, and subway tunnels beneath a growing megacity. 20 stories. One unforgettable decade. In October 1968, just days before the Olympics, student demonstrations in Mexico City ended in tragedy at Tlatelolco. The shocking violence reshaped politics, trust in government, and youth activism for generations, becoming one of the most defining moments in modern Mexican history. Mexico City hosted the 1968 Summer Olympics, the first ever held in Latin America. High-altitude records fell, bold architecture stunned visitors, and the world watched as sport, politics, and culture collided in a city proudly stepping onto the global stage. In 1967, Mexico led a groundbreaking diplomatic effort, the Treaty of Tlatelolco. It made Latin America the world's first nuclear weapon-free zone, showing that global leadership isn't just about power. Sometimes it's about restraint and visionary cooperation. In 1968, Mexico City launched its first metro line, transforming daily life for millions. Sleek trains, bold station symbols, and futuristic design helped tame traffic chaos and set the tone for one of the largest metro systems in the world. Mexico launched the Border Industrialization Program in 1965, allowing foreign companies to build factories along the U.S. border. These maquiladoras reshaped the economy, boosted exports, and marked Mexico's early entry into globalized manufacturing, decades before globalization became a buzzword. Early in the decade, Mexico expanded literacy programs to reach rural communities. Teachers traveled to remote villages, carrying books and chalk instead of briefcases, bringing reading and writing to thousands and fueling social mobility in a rapidly modernizing nation. In 1964, Gustavo Díaz Ordaz took office, promising development and national unity. His administration oversaw massive infrastructure projects, but would later be remembered for its controversial response to social unrest, especially as youth activism grew louder late in the decade. During the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis, Mexico walked a careful diplomatic line, maintaining independence while supporting peaceful solutions. The moment showcased Mexico's balancing act between global superpowers and regional stability in an anxious nuclear age. Throughout 1968, student protests surged across universities demanding democratic reforms and civil rights. Their slogans, marches, and assemblies changed public debate, turning students into one of Mexico's most powerful cultural and political forces. In 1963, Mexico strengthened social protection by expanding services through ISSSD, providing health care, pensions, and housing assistance to public workers. It was a major step toward building the modern welfare infrastructure many citizens rely on today. By the mid-1960s, television sets were becoming living room centerpieces. Families gathered around nightly programming, news, comedy, and telenovelas, turning TV into Mexico's new national campfire and reshaping entertainment, advertising, and popular culture. When Hurricane Terra struck Mexico's Pacific coast in 1962, communities faced flooding, damage, and recovery challenges. Emergency responses improve coordination among local and national agencies, highlighting both vulnerability and resilience in coastal regions. During the mid-1960s, Mexico invested heavily in higher education. Universities expanded campuses and enrollment surged, creating a generation of engineers, doctors, and scientists who would drive modernization. And later, political debate. By the end of the decade, color television began appearing in Mexican homes. Bright visuals transformed sports, news, and entertainment, making media more vivid and helping advertisers, broadcasters, and viewers embrace a more colorful future. Although the golden age of Mexican cinema had peaked earlier, the early 1960s still produced memorable films and stars. Movie theaters remained packed, and storytelling traditions helped define Mexico's cultural voice across Latin America and beyond. Preparing for the Olympics, Mexico City embraced bold modern architecture. Stadiums, sports complexes, and public art installations. These projects blended functionality with artistic ambition, leaving a lasting visual identity that still shapes the city today. Throughout the decade, agricultural reforms introduced new irrigation systems and improved crop techniques. Farmers gained access to modern tools, boosting yields and helping feed a fast-growing population during Mexico's era of rapid urbanization. During the late 1960s, Mexico increased cooperation with international space and communications programs, laying groundwork for future satellite development. The space race wasn't just about rockets. It was also about building the communications networks of tomorrow. The 1968 Olympics weren't just about hosting. Mexican athletes delivered unforgettable performances, winning medals and inspiring national pride. For many viewers, it was the first time seeing local heroes celebrated on a truly global stage, proving that preparation, altitude training, and determination could turn home advantage into history. By the end of the 1960s, Mexico's beaches, historic cities, and archaeological wonders were attracting growing waves of international travelers. New airports, highways, and resort hotels appeared along coastlines, transforming tourism into a major economic engine and introducing millions of visitors to Mexico's culture, cuisine, and sunshine. That was Mexico in 1960s. A decade of ambition, contradiction, creativity, and courage. From Olympic fireworks to student voices, from factory floors to underground metros, the country stepped boldly into the modern world. Join us next time, as another year and another nation takes the global spotlight.